In Singapore, many families rely on domestic helpers every day. But a viral story this week made people wonder, are some helpers being denied basic religious freedom? So let me show you guys the video.
So my helper recently asked me if she could fast. And of course I said she's a practicing Muslim from Indonesia. I didn't see any problem with it, and so I said, of course, go for it. I'm not going to stop you from doing anything like that, because it doesn't affect me in any way. You're still doing the same thing that you're doing, and nothing is going to change. Sometime this week, she actually thanked me for letting her fast. So I was a little bit shocked as to why she would thank me. And I asked her why. So she said her previous 2 employers actually said no. And that really, I don't know how to react to that response, right? Because to me, it's not a problem, and I'm not going to stand in the way of anybody's religion and how they want to practice it, or how strictly they want to adhere to it. I'm in no position to do any of that sort of thing. So my question is, if you got helpers or you have hired help, and what's your take on this? Do you let your helpers observe their religious practices? In this instance, fast? And if no, why the hell not?
Yeah, why the hell not? What are some of the
Possible reasons.
possible reasons that the employer didn't allow the...
I mean, you can imagine,
Yeah.
you can imagine some possible reasons.
So let's discuss what are the possible reasons.
One example could be when you fast, there are some things you can and cannot do. So some people, the normal Muslim, they might just be okay with most things, but some are more religious. And for those people, they might have their own beliefs based on maybe different kind of tradition. Maybe there are things that you cannot touch. Maybe there are things that you cannot watch or see or what. This can possibly affect work. So that's one possible reason. Another possible reason is if you're fasting, your glucose level will be slightly lower.
Less
you might be
energy.
less energetic. So it might
Affects
tire you out
productivity.
and all. Yeah, it's all possible. I think one interesting thing about this video, right, is he was shocked when his helper thanked him. Because that says a lot, no? It shows that in your mind, the norm is they are going to fast and you're going to let.
Yeah.
Because there will be people, and I mean every rational person, right, will at least acknowledge I am giving you a bit of leeway. So when you thank me, it is a normal thing. But to him, it is the thanking part is not normal. The I give you the leeway part is normal, which is very interesting because it shows the kind of mindset he has.
Oh, you are such a good boss.
So I'll ask you guys, if let's say you guys have helpers in the future, would you guys allow her to practice her own religious belief?
As long as it's not rituals and shit lah. I mean, if it's something exactly like what the guy said, as long as it doesn't affect me.
And then imagine she get your kid to do the ritual.
As long as it's not something so drastic and very a stark difference from normal, right? I think it's for sure.
I think yes lah. If let's say it, especially if it doesn't affect most things, and I think even if it affects, right, maybe a bit of leniency should be given for these kind of reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say if you can just allow it.
So we talk about doesn't affect and whatnot, right? What it directly affects a lot.
Yeah, that will be a more interesting scenario to discuss.
Then how do they then draw the boundary? For example, I mean the first scenario that I can think of is somebody who blue collar work uses a lot of strength and needs the food to keep them going lah. If not, output will drastically be affected. In this case, do the employers then have to understand that during this period the output of work will be lesser, or do they then reinforce that maybe you can fast during because they can owe the days one mah. So they fast during their off days. Is that then too unreasonable?
I feel it should be fair for both sides. That means the employer allows the employee to maybe don't slog as hard, but then there has to be a trade-off lah. Especially if your work is output dependent, and then the output there's a clear decrease. And, yeah lah.
Stop working so hard, okay?
Okay, so actually I have deep dive right into what MOM have to say about this. They do say that, okay, you have to treat domestic workers fairly and with respect, allow reasonable personal time, especially on their off days, and do not confiscate any personal religious item or prevent them from normal prayer. But they also say that employers, right, still have control, right, of religious activities that have interference with their work duties. So it's a very grey area, right? I can always say, oh, because you fast, you have low production.
Well, that means if they enforce, they are not held liable. They can enforce.
No, I feel, okay, sometimes the law puts things a bit ambiguous because on a case-by-case basis, you want to assess really how this is affected, right? So I think when it comes to like fasting and then you don't have the same kind of output for a domestic helper, probably it will be on the side of the helper.
Yeah.
If it's not fasting, if it's, let's say, the person is doing some extraordinary prayer, not the normal prayer, maybe this prayer extends for like 1.5 hours, which is fair, right? Let's say it happens to be they have a prayer like this. So it's slightly less normal, slightly less common. In those scenarios, let's say you happen to have a kid who you need to feed or fetch from school or what, and then this is affecting daily, and you make noise or you cut the pay or what. I don't know if cutting the pay is fair, maybe it's not at all. Maybe you make noise or what, and then this person report you. In that scenario, now the ambiguity works towards the employer's favor.
I think if let's say in the future I have a domestic helper, right, and my helper come to me and say that she wants to fast, right, I will not stop her lah.
If let's say now she tells you not just I want to fast, she tells you I know that every day I need to maybe put dinner at 7 p.m. or fetch your child at 5:30, but I need to pray for half an hour during this period. Is it okay this 1 month you excuse me from that? What would you say?
Is there still dinner at 7?
No lah, 7:30 ah.
7:30 okay lah.
7:30. Okay.
Push back, okay lah.
Then the kid one,
You pick
they
up
cannot.
yourself.
You pick up yourself.
You can pray 2 times faster. No?
Because if they do this and it doesn't affect you, nobody should have any issues. But if it affects you, what is that leeway you're going to give? What is that space that you're going to allow them to practice at?
Okay, so to answer that question, right, because I'm not in the situation, for now I can say that, okay, maybe for that 1 month, I can take on the responsibility lah. But
Then she said, then you become my maid.
That's too much already. Open your mouth.